let me tell you a little story about a place called Monster Road. Now, you might think there couldn't be a road named that. Well, you're wrong. Well, actually, it was named after the people who lived there first, and they weren't no monsters, I'll tell you. They were just people. But that's beside the fact. That's another story. This is a story about the road and all the unusual, contrived, and weird things that happened there. And I tell you, it was a hard place to find. Well, the young people, they knew how to get there because they had some reason to. They had something going on there that the older folks just wouldn't quite relate to. I mean, the young people, the teenager people. And they knew how to live. It was a while before anyone went back into that laboratory. But now here's the important part of the story. You see, there was one insignificant kind of a guy who hung around the area, and there was another place next to the secret lab, which was called the Spanish, or I mean, not the Spanish castle, but the haunted castle. And this other place was called Castle Hill. It was just a weird, ugly, unassorted pile of rubbish and debris. But it towered above everything else in the area. And if you ever seen Mo and Herb's Vacation, you know where it was. That was right up on top, and there was that kind of a weird pillow with a beam rotator on top. And little did them guys inside this laboratory know but that beam rotator was a thing that channeled and focused all that weird energy from bygone eras and past eons, and made it do these weird things to bring these things back from the past and everything.
Jimmy, come back. Come back and beat my
I feel like I'm cutting in on all the time. These professionals all around me here need to do their job. So I'm trying to get this over with quickly here, so I can get out of your face. Okay. Now the important part of my stupid little story. Some corrupt real estate guys wanted to get rid of this area called Castle Hill because it was just a nuisance to them. They couldn't do nothing with it. It was between two counties. No one claimed it. No one wanted it. It was horrible. I mean, no one could go in there except this one insignificant guy that I was just telling you about. And he could go in there. He was swift enough to avoid all the mishaps and confusion, like with the Vikings and the conquistadors and all the guys that lived in there. And they saw him coming out of there, and they thought, hey, this is a perfect sucker. Let's sell this place to him. I mean, if he has $1 in his pocket or some spare change, we're going to give this place to him. So they sold it to him, and they got out of their vulnerable situation of trying to make all the stupid real estate thing they had to. Look, I can't tell you about this shit. It's just ridiculous, all the stuff that goes on in this modern world. Finance and bureaucracy and everything. Anyway, they was taking a real tax dodge and getting rid of their property, and they put it on this guy, and they figured, hey, look, we got rid of it now. This guy has it. We don't need it. I mean, it's his now. I mean, it's on him like a bad haircut. And so, but guess what happened? The kids went back into the secret lab. And they started messing around with all the stuff they didn't quite understand. And they started kicking all that machinery into action again. When they turned on that beam that'd been turning all those things back to the past and all that good stuff, well then, they turned that beam on full blast, and when it hit Castle Hill, it blasted all the debris and dirt and refuse and junk and everything sky high. And guess what was left? Right there in the middle of the place where that Castle Hill had been, there was now the thing that had been covered up for all those years, centuries in fact. There was a castle. So the guy who owned Castle Hill now owned a castle. And it didn't take much manipulating. It didn't take much fixing up. That guy had a disco. Disco. And it was a most ridiculously lucrative business. And I tell you, there's more to the story there than that. I mean, there was an underground part to that castle. Oh, before I forget, let me just tell you this. This is the castle.
Metro Bickford.
C-A-S-L.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Bickford.